Well, as we are on the way to TNA Hard to Kill, there hasn't been really any build for the show. I get we're 2 months out or under 2 months away, and the show's being headlined by Alex Shelley and Moose and Trinity and Jordan. Those are the two matches announced, and we're not really seeing like we haven't seen Trinity and Jordan cross paths. We haven't seen Shelly and Moose. They're not even focused on each other right now. And again, I understand that we're just under 2 months from the pay-per-view. So I'm not expecting 2 month long builds, right? But at the same time, with the limited amount of TV that they're doing for the rest of the year, and the fact that they've announced the matches already, you think we would start to get some kind of something, just kind of spark the pay-per-view matches. They haven't announced any other matches besides those two, and it. I said this like a few weeks ago, probably like my first Impact review, that it looks like we're getting Shelly Moose, Trinity Jordan, Ospreay Alexander 2, and based off the final resolution, looks like we're maybe getting Zack Sabre Jr. versus Chris Sabin. And it looks like we're leading to Bully Ray and Macklin. Although after tonight, I think they're just kind of just pushing that to the side, maybe. I have no idea what's going on with the tag titles on either division. Tommy Dreamer and Crazy Steve, like they're on a collision course again, but I don't understand how they're gonna stretch these builds towards the pay-per-view with the IPWF shows, Final Resolution show, and the AAA show. That's it. That's all Impact has after tonight. Is 2 weeks of IPWF, probably 2 weeks of the AAA show, Final Resolution. That's all she wrote. That's all we have left for any kind of build for TNA Hard to Kill. And it also just kind of seems like they're building this pay-per-view based off the name TNA, which is all fine and dandy, but at the same time, you got to start putting in motion your plans pay-per-view. While this was a good show, there were so many problems I had. And the main problems are really just what I just said, build towards Hard to Kill. They're not even building towards Final Resolution. When's that show? Final Resolution. I think it's December 9th, I think, in Toronto. So I believe there's no show next week, or at least they didn't announce anything for next week because there's no tapings. There's nothing to put on TV next week or the week after. Which I believe. Hold on, when's the IP? ActWrestling.com. And doesn't say the IPWF at the events page. They just got the final result, which is correct, December 9th, which is a Impact Plus special. So it's not a TV taping. It's a Impact Plus special, pay-per-view type, whatever you want to call it. So so IPWF Throwback Throwdown 4 November 11th. So that is 2 days after Final Resolution. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Did that already happen? At Wrestling from today, the Throwback Throwdown 4, so for Saturday night. So that was that already taped? When was this taped? What? November 11th, 2023. Well, it's November 17th. So they've already taped these. The IPWF stuff. So that's already taped. So why are they not airing it next week? They're skipping a week? Is that why they didn't announce anything? I don't know. This stuff is quite a bit confusing. Normally I'm on top of these things, but I'm a bit lost. It's the IPWS stuff. But anyways, the IPWS stuff is completely irrelevant to current Impact Wrestling storyline, so it really just doesn't matter about the IPWF stuff anyways. Point is, you have the Impact Plus Final Resolution show, which is not a TV taping, it's a pay-per-view. Then you have the AAA joint show. And looking at that AAA joint show card, again, there's nothing on there to progress anything for the pay-per-view, the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And again, I'm gonna give them a pass because of the production changes, stuff like that. They're getting ready for the relaunch of TNA, which again, but it just would be nice to see at least try to promote Alex Shelley and Moose, because at Final Resolution it's Shelley and Sabin versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Josh Alexander. No correlation there between Shelley and Moose. Moose is wrestling Rhino. Moose isn't even feuding with Alex Shelley right now. Him and Myers are feuding with Heath and Rhino. And Shelley is just feuding with Josh Alexander again because of the vignette. Not the vignette, the backstage segment they had on the show tonight. So I don't know, man. Like I said, they get a pass because they're not doing any TV tapings, but it would just be nice to just sprinkle in some stuff for the pay-per-view. So just a couple of notes here. Kenny King's been in the news. Apparently he requested his release and it got granted. So I guess, and listen, Kenny King isn't a game changer or anything like that. He's very good. He's very entertaining. Long time. He's like late 40s. Like, hold on. Okay, hold on. Wait. Kenny King. I'm pretty sure Kenny King is not in his league. Kenny King. 42. Okay, I'm sorry, Kenny. My apologies. But I still think this is a loss for Impact because the guy's a former 2-time X Division champion. This guy, I don't think a lot of people know this, but this guy was in TNA like in 2012. Like 2012 to like 2015. This guy was in TNA. 2-time X Division champion. He was part of the Beatdown Clan with who was in that? It was MVP, Kenny King, Lashley. No, it wasn't Lashley. Samoa Joe and Loki. Kenny has a lot of roots in TNA, and then in his recent run, pretty uneventful. If I'm just gonna be completely honest, but he did do a lot of good stuff. Like the Honor No More stuff. That was really good. The stuff with Joe Hendry was pretty good. The stripper Kenny thing. But I don't know. I feel like a guy like Kenny King is pretty beneficial to a locker room. And I don't know what happened. I don't think anybody knows, and it's none of our business as to why he requested his release. But Impact granted it, no problem. And hopefully we see him down the road. because he's really good, and he's somebody that should be in any locker room, Kenny King, and so is Mickey James. You know, she came back for the 1,000 episode and did a quick 2 week program, or not even 2 weeks. I'm sorry, did a quick 4 week program with Trinity for Bound for Glory, and put over Trinity, and we haven't seen her since. So, and she was advertised. She was only advertised for the TNA stuff, and they took her off. She's not on the roster page. She's taking another break. So, who knows? Does she go back to WWE now that Nick is there? Who knows? Again, it's just like WWE's women's division is always going to be focused on the same women, no matter what, no matter who comes in, no matter who gets over. It's always going to be the same group of women that are constantly pushed on TV. And does Mickey get involved there? Who knows? I mean, she is a legend, 6-time champ. So who knows? We'll see. Speaking of Kenny King, the show kicked off with Kenny King and Sheldon Jean challenging Bullet Club's Ace Austin and Chris Bay for the Impact Tag titles. Now, this match was set up last week because Kenny wanted a rematch for the DMC title. And Santino's like, well, you're going to get a consolation prize. I'm going to put you in a match for the tag titles with Sheldon Jean next week. So, sure. Again, another stupid reason to give somebody a championship match. And this isn't just an Impact thing. This is an every company thing. It just bothers me. To just give people championship matches for just bullshit reasons. Why? It really bothers me. Because these are your championships. I feel like they should be respected and earned. And just to hand out Kenny King, Sheldon Jean a tag title. And it's not even like Kenny King and Sheldon Jean are like a successful tag team. They lose a lot of tag team matches. So, I don't know, man. And listen, any match that has Ace Austin and Chris Bay in it is going to be a good match. And they had a good match. Ace Austin and Chris Bay predominantly dominated this match, respectfully. And they're so good, man. Ace Austin and Chris Bay are the best tag team in wrestling today. Like, currently, right now, it's Ace Austin and Chris Bay. They're so smooth. They never look sloppy, ever. They work so good together. And they got the dub here. They retained their tag titles. They didn't need to lose. Right decision whatsoever. There's no reason to have Sheldon and Kenny win. Again, this was taped before Kenny requested his release, so this is probably the last time we see Kenny King on Impact TV for the foreseeable future. And I'm curious to know what they have planned for Ace Austin and Chris Bay at Hard to Kill, because, quite frankly, tag team division is a bit silent. It's a bit dead, unless they're gonna have the Rascals in rematch clause at the pay-per-view. See? And I don't think beating the Rascals twice in a row on big time pay-per-views is necessarily a good look for the Rascals, but if that is the case, they should still lose, because why flip-flop the titles like that? Anyways, so next we have the MK Ultra vignette, which is so funny. I saw Killer Kelly replied to a tweet, and the tweet was like, just close your eyes and just listen to what Killer Kelly and Slam are saying, and you'll get a completely different vibe. And to be honest, it was quite funny, because if you do that, I understand why that tweet was sent. So they basically just talk about the controlling the Knockouts division. They're going to reshake everyone's reality, and they're going to harness the power of the unknown, and they are unstoppable. Yeah, they're pretty unstoppable, considering there's like, what, 2 other women's tag teams in the company? I'd be unstoppable too if my only competition was Courtney and Jessica and Giselle and Savannah Evans. If those two teams were my only competition, I'd be pretty unstoppable too. But again, very good vignette for MK Ultra. They're easily the best, probably one of the best things going in wrestling right now, even though they have no opponents. Next, we had Moose versus Heath. This was set up last week. Again, Moose did not need to lose, and Heath just eats pins all the time in Impact, which kind of bothers me a little bit because we've seen glimpses of what Heath can do and what he could be, but it's never really explored to the next level. Because the dude can talk his ass off. He's very, what's the word I'm trying to say? He's like very connective to the fans. He gets one of the biggest pops every time he comes out. And he's shown, listen, I've never seen Heath have matches like he did in Impact in his entire WWE run. So that should say a lot. Even though Heath was predominantly a jobber anyways in WWE. But I really enjoyed his run. Again, I feel like there could have been more there with Heath. And he's another one of those guys that people talk about that the contract's up, but he's still on TV, and it looks like he's still going to be on TV for the foreseeable future. Because after the match, Heath was getting beat up by Moose and Myers because Moose won. And Rhino comes out to make the save, so it doesn't look like any kind of send-off for Heath. So we shall see. I hope he sticks around because, again, I think he could be doing more in Impact and TNA. Moose and Myers are shown backstage after their match, and Moose says Rhino is jealous because he's going to be the next champion. Yeah, because Rhino's jealous you're going to be the next TNA World Champion. I don't think Rhino was just jealous. I think he just was sticking up for his friend who was getting beat up. And Moose sets up a match between him and Rhino at Final Resolution. Yay. We get the Rascals, Trey, Wentz, and the debuting Myron Reed versus Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, and Juventud Guerrera. Now, this match was set up because of a Mexican heritage type thing. Like, they've been advertising all these Mexican heritage stuff for the Fallout. And that's why this match took place. Again, I'm fine with it. It's cool to see Juventud. And it's nice to see Myron Reed in Impact, finally. I think Myron Reed is going to be a big star. Very good. And I think he could be a key piece in the X Division along with Leon Slater. Oh, my God. Myron Reed versus Leon Slater. Damn. That sounds nice, doesn't it? So they had a very lucha-esque match. Myron Reed looked really good here, even though he took the pin. And it's nice to see Black Taurus get a dub, because, again, for the most part, Taurus just eats pins. And, yeah, it was nice to see Taurus get the dub. Hopefully they can do something with Taurus. You can't have a guy who's that good in the ring with that look and not just do anything with the guy. You know, they tried with DK, didn't work out. Then him and Steve split away from Rosemary and didn't really go anywhere. Now Steve split from Taurus, so now Taurus is back on his own. Maybe he teams up with Laredo Kid going forward. I don't know, but you gotta do something with a guy like Taurus. He's too good to like never win any kind of championship. in Impact. Also, by the way, he's one of the biggest stars in Mexico. So they got to figure out something to do with Taurus. But yeah, so Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, Juventud Guerrera get the dub. The Rascals lose in Myron Reed's debut. But Reed did look good. So did the Rascals, the other Rascals. Conan was on commentary, by the way, if anybody cared to know that. But yeah, Taurus pinned Reed after a mid-air spear, and Taurus hit his flipping pile driver for the dub. I don't think we'll see Juventud Guerrera in the foreseeable future. So yeah, I think this might be the last time for Juventud. Again, hopefully they can do something to Taurus. Next, we have Steve Macklin and Kylan King versus Bully Ray and Jordan Grace. Now, this whole thing was set up last. Now, something I can appreciate Impact that Impact does is they set things up, and then they follow up on it the next week and the following week, build up to it. But sometimes stuff just be random, just like the Ace Austin and Chris Bay and Kenny King and Shelter Team stuff. It's just a random backstage segment to set up a tag match, but at least they do take the time, as random as it is, to set up stuff for the following week. So, I don't really know what we're trying to do here with Macklin and Bully. Because to me here, it looked like they're just moving away from it. Now, I hope that's not the case, because I think Macklin needs to beat Bully at the pay-per-view. And again, Kylan is just kind of in the middle of just not doing anything because Taylor Wilde's not there. Because apparently she was the one who injured Tyler Wilde. She revealed it herself a couple weeks ago. I don't know if Taylor's still there or not. I don't know. But it just seems like they don't know what to do with Kylan King, so they just stick with Jordan Grace, I guess. Well, even though Jordan should be focusing on Trinity. But instead, they teased a Jordan Grace Bully Ray feud, but they didn't. And by the way, Jordan hit King with a disgusting race driver, and it looked really dangerous. I don't know if it's just because Kylan was tall, but then again, she did the same move on Bully. That looked great. They just looked really bad here, and I hope Kylan's okay because it looked rough. But again, why are they going Jordan Grace and Bully Ray? Why does that seem to be a thing? Bully teases to hit Grace with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. Grace then takes the trophy away, and they stare down at each other for a good minute, and then Bully shakes her hand and raises her hand. I don't know what the fuck this is about. Again, Macklin just seemed like a non-factor in this thing, even though he's feuding with Bully. So I don't know what this is about. I don't know where it's going, but maybe at least it's something. But then again, Jordan should be putting her focus on Trinity, and Bully should be putting his focus on Macklin instead of whatever this is. Hopefully this is just like a passing of the torch type thing, and we don't see Jordan and Bully interact anymore. Who knows? Then we get Sunny Kiss versus Trinity. This match was set up last week because Trinity wanted a match with Sunny, so she went and talked to somebody and got the match fit. So, I will say this. It wasn't the greatest wrestling match ever, but I can tell that the crowd was into it, and it was okay for what it was. There was a lot of booty meat booty shakes between these two, and there was a lot of flexibility going on as well. I will leave it at that. Call myself Trinity beats Sunny Kiss, as she should. There's no reason for Trinity to lose, but Sunny does lose like the first match of Sunny's Impact run. So again, we'll see what happens with Sunny. But yeah, again, Trinity should not have lost, and I'm glad she won. Now, can we please put some focus between Trinity and Jordan? We get the Motor City Machine Guns backstage. They plug their match for Final Resolution. Again, it's going to be Sabin and Shelly versus Josh and Zack Sabre Jr. Hopefully that match at the pay-per-view is going to set up Zack versus Sabin. And whatever Josh and Shelly is going to do. I don't really know who eats the pin there. Well, actually, no. You can have Sabre pin Sabin to set up the X Division title match. Perfect. Bingo. And boy, oh boy. Main event time. Main event. Holy shit. Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander. Now, these fuckers have kept this in the vault for about 3 weeks now since this was taped. And we Impact fans had to suffer and wait. So we all know this match had happened and it was taped. And we had to wait 3 weeks for this shit to come. And I'm glad we waited because holy shit. I think this match is way better than the Speedball match. That's nothing against Speedball, but I just thought this match was just clear as day, the better match out of the two. And it really puts, it puts in perspective how good Josh Alexander really is. I mean, I've always known he's good because I can list off matches. His match with Eddie Edwards at Bound for Glory, his match with Eric Young, Slammiversary, his match with Speedball on that 1 hour match, and then the other 1 hour match with TJP, match with Christian. Josh Alexander puts on banger after banger after banger. His 2 matches with Moose, the Rebellion one, and then the one on TV the following week, banger, banger, banger. Josh is really good. But Ospreay is just on another level. And I actually thought, for the first time in a while, watching a Ospreay match, that Josh really elevated Ospreay. I thought Josh looked the better of the two. I know that's weird to say with a Ospreay match, but I really thought Josh, like, he belonged in that ring. He held his own. And he looked more impressive than Ospreay did. And that's not a knock on Ospreay, because Ospreay looked fucking awesome in this match. But again, it shows how good both these guys are. 1000% would recommend. I think this is Ospreay's. Whew. Oh man, this was definitely better than the match with Omega. This is definitely better than the one with Jericho. Definitely better than the one Okada. The only one that might be better than this match is probably the one he just had with Umino. I think that one was better. But man, these two need to run it back. They really do. This needs to be on the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Like, I don't care what, because New Japan, they usually do the New Year's Dash thing after the day of Wrestle Kingdom, and I don't think they run another show till late January usually. This needs to be on the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Josh and Ospreay too. And if Josh wins, Ospreay's not signing with TNA. And if Ospreay wins, then there's a good chance that Ospreay could sign with TNA. But again, put this match on the pay-per-view. We saw how good of a match they had for free on TV. Again, it's almost like Scott was like, okay, we're probably not going to sign this guy, but while we have him, we're going to put him up against the best of our company, and we're just going to get the most out of him while we can. That's why we got the match with Speedball and Eddie Edwards. And now Josh, 3 top guys in Impact. I would have loved to see him against Moose, because Moose is personally my favorite wrestler in Impact. And I hope we can get that one day. But man, this needs to be on the pay-per-view. Fucking classic. It's crazy how Ospreay just gave TNA two 5-star matches within a month. It's unbelievable, this guy. So that was the show Impact Wrestling for November 16th, 2023. Again, solid show. Fantastic main event. Lacking in the build for the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And listen, I think the WrestleTix account said that they have building for Hard to Kill to be set up at around 1,100 seats, and I think they sold almost 600 tickets, or probably just over 600 tickets right now. So they're halfway there. If you could just announce, because listen, Dolph will be a free agent when that time comes. So Mustafa Ali, I think those two you gotta sign. And if you can get Ospreay, even better. But you can book Ospreay for that pay-per-view, sure. And with Punk, man, who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, that was Impact, November 16th, 2023. Good show. Yeah, I don't really know what's happening next week. I don't know if it's the IPWF show or they're just doing best of 2023 matches or whatever. I don't know. See, because it is Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thursday is Thanksgiving, so they probably just won't even air anything. I don't know, but we shall see. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, notification bell, all that good stuff for more daily Impact wrestling reviews. Now we'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown and World Tag League. I know the World Tag League is currently going on as I'm recording this, and I will not have the review up today. I will have it up tomorrow with the SmackDown review. So you guys tune in for that, and peace out.